This video is going to go out to the Dragonfly431 because he just is insistent on having his 15 minutes of shame. So I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to put this in preschool terms because that seems to be the only thing you understand. If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. That's a Chinese proverb. Now let me translate that for you. Homeless shelters across the United States are literally facing bankruptcy. That means if they disappear, there's going to be a lot of homeless people who depend upon these guys that will either face starvation or freeze to death or bake to death if they're in the desert. The point is, if the homeless shelters go bankrupt, there will be literally no place for the homeless people to go. And that could be a serious problem here in the United States. Now then, nobody wants to be the person that begs for their meals. You see, you're seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. Let me tell you something. Let me wake you up to this. We have a lot of people that literally live off of welfare checks, SNAP cards, Medicaid. How long do you think that's going to last? Not for much longer, I guarantee it. Now then, you're standing there saying, well, just go out and give a homeless person a sandwich and you'll feel good. What happens to the guy the next day when he needs another sandwich? He doesn't want to indignify himself and come back to you and beg you for another sandwich, but he has no choice. So what I'm doing here is not only giving that homeless person their dignity back, but on top of that, helping the homeless shelters from going bankrupt. I'm coordinating my efforts with these homeless shelters even as we speak, so that they'll put computers in their homeless shelters, used computers, not new ones, just used. And then they can pull in that internet and they can download these videos and store them on their hard drives so that the homeless people can go watch them, learn from them, and go back to work, thus giving the dignity back to these homeless people and giving the homeless shelters a chance to not go bankrupt. Of course, you don't know anything about this because you keep seeing things from rose-colored glasses. This kind of reminds me of the people that are a part of Dan Brown's Pogo tribe. Is that what you're a part of? I've been watching his videos. They have a very optimistic view of the world. Well, let me tell you something. The new health care law is in place, people. And it will catch up with everybody. Literally everybody. You, me, everybody. And when it does, it's going to change the landscape of the United States. It already is changing the landscape of the United States. And it's going to get worse. Now then, your theory of perpetual employment is flawed. Companies that have been around for over 100 years, like Sears and J.C. Penney, are facing very big-time financial hardships, nearly going bankrupt. Blockbuster, they faced bankruptcy, and they haven't even been around that long. Just because something is true today doesn't mean it's going to be true forever. Ask Charles Schwab. He'll tell you. You could be rich today and broke tomorrow. Just because you haven't had a car wreck today doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to have a car wreck tomorrow. That's flawed thinking. But then it gets worse. You come over here and you tell me that you're deliberately setting up accounts so that you can antagonize me so that I'll make videos like this. What are you, some kind of a junkie? What, are you codependent on my videos now? Man. What, methamphetamine wasn't enough for you? Man. There's not enough entertainment on that YouTube to satisfy you, so you have to come to me? Wow. There's a statement. The difference between you and me is I don't see things through rose-colored glasses. I see things as they actually are. And you don't. Take your rose-colored glasses off and see things for what they really are. And I'll tell you, I hope, beyond hope, that all these homeless people finally figure out who you are and start begging you for bread. Only then you'll realize what I've been trying to say. And one more thing. Get in your car one of these days and go to some street corner and watch the people as they continually look at their smartphones, being completely oblivious to cars coming right at them. That's because their brains are no longer up here, they're in their smartphones. And that's the truth. They can't live without their smartphones. They can't fall asleep without their smartphones. They can't wake up without their smartphones. They are as addicted to their smartphones as somebody that's addicted to meth. And that's a fact. And let me tell you something else. I don't know what industry you're in, but let me tell you something. The continual use of expletives will bite you in the behind. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day it will. And you want to know else? It's going to happen to other people a lot quicker than it'll happen to you. So for the rest of you who are watching this video, let me assure you, your continual use of expletives at the workforce is going to cost you your income. That's a guarantee. If you don't believe me, you can go to my videos where I talked about expletives and you can look at the links that I left you. It's a fact, people. Don't believe this guy with rose-colored glasses. He's going to find himself unemployed soon enough. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day. And I'll be there watching, safely in my home. Whew. Now, if you want to continue trying to antagonize me, you go right ahead. But I don't care what you say to this video, I'm not going to respond any further. You have got the message. The point is, I'm doing something about this economy, and you're not. You don't care what happens to those people the next day after that, or the next day after that. If you did, you would be putting up videos like I'm doing right now. So there's the proof. Your actions speak louder than your words. The fate of over 9 million people rests in my hands. And I'm not going to let them down. Especially not over you. You're not worth it. So you just keep writing your silly little comments. And I'll continue to pump out this education, and I'll never quit. And I will continue to coordinate my efforts with every single homeless shelter and every single church that will allow me to, and we'll get these homeless people back to work. With or without you. That's all I've got to say. I'll tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.